everybody there what happened. I said I had to do it. I was just attacked. I was dizzy. I was vomiting. I couldn't breathe. This case has nothing to do with race. It never had anything to do with race. It had to do with the right to self-defense.
Right.
I'm not a racist person. I support the BLM movement. I support peacefully demonstrating. And I believe there needs to be change. I believe there's a lot of prosecutorial misconduct, not just in my case, but in other cases. And it's just amazing to see how much a prosecutor can take advantage of somebody.
Okay, so there you saw Kyle Rittenhouse in his little special interview with Tucker Carlson, more of which will be coming tonight, so buckle up for that. The fun thing about this is that Tucker Carlson, who loves to occasionally talk about how dishonest the media is, sometimes he'll even have on former liberals to talk about how dishonest the rest of the media is, was producing all of this embedded with Kyle Rittenhouse throughout the trial, while doing shows talking about how Kyle Rittenhouse was obviously innocent and should be let off, while generating footage that would be produced into something that had a financial beneficial impact on Tucker Carlson because of the relationship he was benefiting from, and never once admitted that that's what he was doing. I cannot think of anything more fundamentally dishonest. Like he's an opinion guy. He could have just said, tonight we're gonna be talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. Oh, by the way, I'm producing a documentary with Kyle Rittenhouse. He chose not to do that. And Kyle Rittenhouse, by the way, chose to do all of this with Tucker Carlson, with all of what Tucker Carlson is. And so you can take from that whatever you want about Tucker Carlson and his ethics, or about Rittenhouse and his claims to be in no way a racist person. He is certainly choosing an interesting media figure to allow to sort of generate the first post-trial impressions he's gonna make on the country.
Yeah, I mean, I see that you have a lot prepared for this, and I agree with the framing and everything. And just know in the back of your mind that we will get to a point in this conversation where we discuss how even Kyle's lawyer is trying to tell him, buddy, stay away from these people. You need to go back. And I will say that people like Tucker Carlson, very much disingenuous, always angling for some kind of supremacy of white people, and also supremacy of himself in this new world new world order he's trying to create, where there are fascist populists who try to snow leftist populists into and try to trick them into getting into this unholy alliance that will result in the loss of freedoms for everybody who isn't a certain type of way. Let's put it that way. And so have that in the back of your mind. And the only person talking sense that I have heard, even tangentially related to this entire Rittenhouse trial, against all odds, is Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer, who's saying that everyone trying to grift off him, especially Tucker, is a psychopath and he needs to stay away from them. And that makes the Republicans, the right-wing media, completely complicit in ruining a family, the Rittenhouse family, and turning him into like this weird Scott Baio, Ricky Schroeder, future toxic, radioactive child star who will absolutely have severe issues and whose life will be ruined after he blows through all the money, because obviously he has no guidance at home giving him any kind of moral or decency compass.
And we incorporate that when we say that obviously it would be better for literally everyone if he just had not gone to Kenosha. But that is not a position that everyone can agree on. As Steven Crowder was talking about, like, don't you dare as a right winger imply that he shouldn't have been there or that there was anything wrong about this. They not only love the application of the law, they love the situation. They love the outcome. And again, they're celebrating him, but he is just a tool. He's a means to an end. If this wrecks his life, they're not gonna shed any tears for that. It's not actually about Kyle Rittenhouse. But you've been bringing up the lawyer thing. So if we could jump ahead, Brandon, to that last video of the Rittenhouse lawyer talking about what he thinks about this case.
Word that you guys had a film crew embedded with you from Fox News, from Tucker Carlson. I want to know why that decision was made.
I did not approve of that. I threw them out of the room several times. And I'm not suggesting that Fox or some other network, I don't think a film crew is appropriate for something like this.
That seems like the most reasonable thing, Brett.
Madison Cawthorn, Paul Gosar, Matt Gaetz, Steven Crowder, all Candace Owens, they're all angling, in addition, Tucker Carlson, are all angling to have Rittenhouse involved. Here is what that same lawyer told Business Insider, I guess Insider now. Quote, they're raising money on it, and you have all these Republican congressmen saying, come work for me. They want to trade on his celebrity, and I think it's disgusting. Donald Trump Jr. retweeted some kind of proposal from a gun rights organization to send Kyle Rittenhouse a AR-15 as a reward for killing those people and using it in Kenosha. And Richards told Insider about Donald Trump, quote, he's an idiot. I don't have to expand on that because it speaks for itself.
Yeah, 100%. Look, this is all grift. The media apparatus is a grift. The Tucker Carlson stuff is a grift. And again, it isn't even about Rittenhouse. And Rittenhouse's stuff about it having absolutely nothing to do with race and he supports BLM or whatever is like the most like shallow version of those comments. The idea that it has nothing to do with that, like, come on, that's ridiculous. And it doesn't matter that he killed white people. He went to a racial justice protest. I mean, like, do we need to point this out? I understand that there are like lizard brain people in the chat that aren't going to get that or whatever, but yeah, I mean, and he's going on Tucker Carlson. Like, come on.
People say, and I will say explicitly, we have the ocular proof of Kyle Rittenhouse throwing up a white power sign. I don't know what else I need to do when he's hanging out with Proud Boys and flipping the okay at everybody. That is a white power sign. So anyone, Candace Owens is saying that he needs to spend the rest of his life till he's 96 years old suing people for defamation for calling him a white supremacist. Well, I hate to tell you, that went out the window, that legal argument, when Kyle Rittenhouse threw up a white power sign. It's over.
That was only like 3 years into occasional national conversations about that being a white power sign.
And he's 100%. He's not like a thumbs up or this. He throws it in a very obvious way.
Yeah. And by the way, your willingness to go to a racial justice protest and kill white people who are demonstrating on behalf of that is not the argument against you being a white supremacist that some in the chat might think that it is. I get it. He is perfectly willing to be violent towards white people. The video of him beating that girl from earlier, I believe she was a white girl, so he'll beat white girls, he'll shoot white men. I get that. That does not mean that he's awesome in terms of race. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.